Smogon did it, that took the piss on Cinderace and actually banned it, went way over people's head and decided not to suspect it for the time being and just eradicated it from the meta directly as a response to Magearna being banned, and theoretically making Cinderace all the more powerful, hence banning it because it was unhealthy. Yeah, that's a rough idea what's went down, and if anything, watch Pokeaims video about it, as he covering what I think is the most important part, which is why it was considered banned and the evolutions behind it. And I am just here to really ventilate my anger, as I do, well, unscripted clearly, but I do feel a bit of despise of this decision. It's heavily based on that as a community we are supposed to, all of us to play the game, to be interactive in what comes in or goes out of the meta. It's been pretty much self-explanatory that people has been, due to the lack of variety in Pokemon, that there are some decisions that should be overruled by the council. I'm fine with that, but now that we actually have added basically 115 more Pokemons, you figured those rules would no longer apply, or rather consider how they treated Magearna and Urshifu, which was a long debate whether or not they should or shouldn't be banned, and then to just after vote with Magearna with an overhauling of it was 80% one gone, then sell them itself really just and this guy goes too. For me, that creates a rift in whether who gets in or out and how much of a community this really is. Look, I can be all behind the dialogue that maybe Cinderace should be considered broken and be banned, or even get a complex ban, considered that has already been a debate with Blaziken, to allow certain aspects of Pokemon to be a part of the game, but just not necessarily the ability that could prohibit it to be more viable. I think we have these dialogues that you should be in a certain rank to be able to vote, and then ignore that fact and just go right on at it and vote something else. Like I said, it becomes a rift in our trust in the Smogon community. I want to trust what Smogon's doing is fair, but with stuff like this, it's very hard to defend. They could very easily have a suspect about Cinderace, and like I said, the transparency of that being whether or not it was broken would be much more justified if the best battlers got to decide on that. The council represents, I do believe, between 5 and 10 people. I only know 2 of them, one of them being Finch, and while the persons there, or the 2 that I know, are open-minded, it seems still things like this lingers through, and it creates a mistrust towards it. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it just, when we have suspect tested to basically make sure that the best 100 in theory, more or less between 50 and 100 gets to decide which Pokemon made it, that I feel is fair game. Yes, it's a lengthy process, but also it's the very best battler of that metagame that get to decide whether or not it's broken or not. Most of the time it is, but just given this that the council overruled because there's a tournament of a pretty broad minority of 100 players do that tournament, and they had one big say in whether or not they thought it was broken. I feel that's ignoring the whole community, and as a whole, it makes us that play by Smogon rules feel largely ignored. And doing stuff like that just makes it question whether or not one could trust Smogon. I really love the dialogue of banning Pokemon and why they should be banned, but if it's just a simple call that it's banned because others think it should be banned, that's the dialogue we were supposed to ignore. I felt that we have been over specific with that it all should be based around the community's interpretation, and the wide array of thoughts should be complemented to a democratic decision that results in a ban, not that a minority that feel to complement to them and adjust to them. I feel if we're doing that, then we're no different than the fan rules created for ourselves and our friends group. It should not go down like that. The community is a lot larger than that, and I don't know, this is a stupid decision because, or not stupid, but it's a very ignorant decision, as it creates this mistrust, at least for me personally, towards Smogon, because then it basically, basically means if I'm not involved in a certain community, I have no say in whether or not a Pokemon sticks around or not. And if we can keep doing that, then what's the point of being invested in a community if that's going to be largely ignored anyway? Yeah, it's a rant, absolutely, but it's also a bit of why did this come to fruition? Why was this justified? They even said it was going to be a suspect test later. Then why just not allow it in the tournament if that's such a big deal? Even at that, I feel that is unjust to everybody else anyway. But banning it towards everybody else who's playing because of somebody else's interpretation of his viability, yeah, I mean that is league rules. That is rules you make up on personal preference, and it should not apply to the large majority. I feel this is super ignorant, and I am not fine with this. So yeah, that's the video. Yeah, cool video, Chris. Nice. I really want to know what you guys think. I mean, like I said, the ban in itself is very well justified, but I think the community should decide that and not a few select people. I really believe so. So that's it, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and have a great day, everyone.